Hey, it's Pete from Cheap Homesteading. I'm in the bee yard today, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an update on how the bees are doing. The bees didn't winter very well this year at all, and you know what, I'm starting to think that it's more the beekeeper than the bees. I feel very confident taking care of the bees in the year, building them up for winter and everything, but winter, for some reason, my climate where I am, the bees die. Not everyone's bees around here dies every year, so I mean clearly it has to be something I'm doing, and this year is not a year I want to spend a ton of money to get back into beekeeping. So right now I am not a beekeeper. To be a beekeeper you need bees, and I don't have one hive left. So, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to beekeep this year. I've got tons of equipment, and you know what I really need to do is get out there, and we're going to try to catch some swarms. In the next little while you're going to see me repurposing my bee equipment and making them into swarm traps. A swarm trap is basically a beehive, at least a box that is conducive to bees to move into. So you have wax and you have lemongrass oil, which smells like a queen, to attract bees. A hive naturally wants to reproduce itself, so when it gets too big they will make another queen, and the old queen with a bunch of bees will leave. And what we're trying to do is make a box that the bees want to move into. And you know what? I have the equipment. It's not going to cost me anything except a little bit of time. So I think I'm going to try to make as many as I can. And we're going to use a lot of the frames that are in these hives, because when you put frames from old dead out hives in it, it's like a magnet for bees to find it. So I'm going to pull apart the hives and we're going to use the frames to assemble our swarm traps. So that's what you're going to see for the next little while. I feel that it's important to try to get some bees again, because I really do enjoy the hobby. And you know, it started to become an income when I had 50 hives, but it all totally fell apart. You know, the bright side of the whole thing is I'm glad I didn't go in full tilt and spend tons and tons of money. I made all my own equipment. I didn't purchase almost anything, just a few little things here and there. The bees I did purchase. Remember, the first time I spent 800, the second time I spent 800, but that was it. And I just built up from there, and I made it to 50. Couldn't stay there, but I made it there. So I have the equipment. We're just going to start making swarm traps out of them. So I'm going to take you on this journey. So I'm going to vlog the whole thing. I'm going to make the swarm traps. We're going to put the swarm traps out, and hopefully we're going to have videos of me going out and picking up these swarms and getting them in our hives and in the bee yard. And hopefully this bee yard starts filling up. You know what? I will be happy with anything I get. If I'm happy with one hive, and I'm going to be happy with no hives, because this year I need to get a bunch of other stuff done, and maybe it was a blessing that I didn't have a whole lot to do with the bees. But I'm totally intending to keep going on with the bees, but I can't really afford to go out and spend another $800 to kind of get back into beekeeping. I'm going to take this year, I'm going to think about it, I'm going to think about how I winter them, think about how I manage them coming up to winter. I'm going to think about how I do everything in this operation. Because my goal is actually to make this a business, and you know what, this is a huge bump in the road. I'm either not a quitter or very stupid, whichever it is, and you know what, maybe a bit of both. This year, as best as it's up to me to get a bunch of swarms, we're going to try to get some swarms and start filling them up in the bee yard. Hopefully they make it through the winter, and then it gives me production hives next year. Because if I wait till next year to actually get my nukes, it's another year after that. So you know what, this didn't make me very happy. But you know what, after that first year going from 50 down, that was a hard hit. Now it's become, you know what, it is what it is, and we're gonna do what we can. So there's gonna be a bunch of videos of me making swarm traps and hanging them up, and hopefully we catch some swarms. So that's about enough for today. You guys have a good one.